Morning, everybody. It's a cold winter morning, Camp Crystal Gaines. Um, Wanted to talk about something that happened yesterday. So I've been in a deficit, as you know, for a little bit now, and apparently I am in too much of a deficit, or at least too much of a deficit for where my physique is currently. All week I've been actually longer than that. I've been like kind of wondering what the hell is going on because I've had like brain fog and just felt kind of shitty, and it's gotten worse each day. And the past 2 days, I'm ashamed to admit, I got busy and didn't eat till late. So I ate like as late as like 3 to 5 o'clock, and I get up at 5:40 a.m. So that's too long to go not eating. Well, anyways, I ate just a little bit yesterday at a family get together thing, and then that was the only thing I'd eaten that day. And I went and I hit chest, and after hitting chest, I went to Walmart, and on the way there, I was getting real shaky. And then by the time I got to Walmart, I was fucking trembling. Like I could barely stand up. I was pouring sweat. I was extremely anxious. Like I'm talking like panic attack anxious. Uh, I felt like a weak, wounded, scared animal. I was confused. It was one of the worst things I've ever experienced. And I've felt that feeling before. One time, this is a long time ago, I was accidentally given a glipizide instead of a painkiller at one point, and it plummeted my blood sugar, and that was the same feeling. So, when I got back to the car, I pounded 2 shakes, drove home. There's about a 20-minute difference there. Took my blood sugar, and it was at 90, which isn't super, super low, but that's after those 2 shakes. So I'd like to know what it was like when I was at Walmart. I'm imagining it was a lot lower with how I felt. But so I'm going to start monitoring my blood sugar and make sure I didn't cause some issues by bulking the way I was for so long. Because I was kind of eating more than a human really should be. But anyway, that's what happened yesterday. I'm filming with the phone right now because the little attachment that holds my GoPro onto the tripod snapped. I went to go film my lift the other day, got to the gym and took out my tripod, and the GoPro was doing this, flopping all over the place. So I was like, well, I guess we're not filming today. So I had to dig this. This phone is just for vlogging. So I'm gonna be using this, I guess, until I get the GoPro back up in action. So, but that's what's going on. Today we're gonna go hit shoulders. Probably gonna do some arm volume, and it's gonna be a good lift. I hope every one of you have a good lift or a good rest day, whichever one it is. Catch you guys in a little bit. Boy. All right. This is my first attempt at doing a voiceover. I don't know. I just felt like videos of me lifting without any music or commentary at all was just a little bit boring. But anyways, this is the shoulder press that I used in my other shoulder day video. But the first day that I did this whole stack was a good day for me. All right. I just felt good about it. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I believe that stack is, with the added 15 pounds, it's 305. These I picked up from a Ryan Humminston, however you say his name, video. And I probably do them wrong. I've been kind of experimenting with the angle. You're supposed to kind of lead with your pinky. But I always kind of mess myself up a little bit when I do that. And you're supposed to kind of go almost more of a, it's almost like a front raise angle, just out a little bit. but it's supposed to target your front and this front delt and this little sliver. There's apparently a little sliver that's really responsible for that side delt look. And this is supposed to hit that. So I started doing these a couple months ago, and I like them. I usually do like 3 sets. It's not very heavy. I do like 25 pounds and then drop down to 15. And I try to do a slow eccentric, just kind of control it on the way down. That's one tip I can tell you is I think doing that is extremely beneficial. So if you're rushing your reps, slow down. It feels impossible when you first start doing it, but it's worth it. But yeah, I started doing these a while ago, and I really like them. I didn't film every movement I did. I left out my normal dumbbell lateral raises that you guys usually see me do. The angle on those also I experiment with a little bit each time, but I just thought you guys have seen it 10 times. Whatever. We'll just. I used to do, well, still do, but just haven't the past probably week or so. I usually try to do the single arm sitting to the side variation of this, but and I actually start out with this same weight and just do drop sets, but it's I don't always have the time to do that. So recently I started just going back to hitting both at the same time, like doing it regularly. So, but I had to really completely mute this clip because this machine is so loud. If you guys saw the other video, it's even worse now. Now it's a lower tone and louder sound. And it's especially apparent if you try to do slow eccentrics, which they start degrading as you see there, but oh look, it's me pushing it again with my elbow joints now that my wife bought me some elbow wraps. This is probably not the best idea, but so far those elbow wraps have put just enough pressure there for me to get heavy, and I gotta cut that out. Alright, well, even though I said I wasn't going to blur anything in this, obviously I just had to blur that out, but I didn't want to cut the audio of what I was saying just because my face popped in the frame there for a second. But yeah, I'm pushing it again there. Looking at this, I really feel like my arms have shrunk from taking it easy. They definitely, without question, used to look bigger. But what do I expect if they're not being worked for a long period like they should be? You might start losing some size. Or maybe it's just from the deficit, that could also be. But I think we'll be throwing some extra arm volume in the coming weeks. Because, yeah, that's a no-go for me right there. No, losing arm size. And of course, I'm always self-conscious about my loose skin and being bloated, hence the calorie deficit. But I was 300 pounds at one point, for those who don't know. I will eventually be doing that transformation video. I know I keep talking about it, but it'll happen. I gotta figure out the basics before I take on something like that, as far as making videos, because that's gonna be a lot of editing. These are like a upright row kind of deal with the cables. And again, I'm no expert, so I'm sure I've got some shit form on some stuff, and everyone can improve on something. I'm always learning, but So yeah, if you see me do something, it doesn't necessarily mean you should go do it at that exact angle and everything, because I may be so screwed up from bad form for so long that bad form might just feel right to me at this point, but and it might hurt you. So you don't want to. Again, I'm no expert. I try my best, but like right here, now this isn't something that's going to hurt you, I don't think, but my elbows move a little bit more than I would like, and you can actually see my front delts start to activate towards the top of these reps as it pulls up almost into a front raise, like curling movement at the top. Could have leaned back, I think, to prevent that a little bit. My wife would hate this clip. She's not a big fan of my vascularity. I am, though. And of course, flexing like a ham. I mean, what's the point if you're not gonna show it off a little bit? Like, you know what I mean? And we all see what's going on back there. That's honestly, that's been an issue all my life back there. That's where most of those scars are from. But that's not, you know, it's not saying there's not other reasons for it looking like that right now. I don't think it's that bad, really. I have like maybe 3 pimples on me. But that's why we all know what that's from, and that's why I don't condone it or promote it. There are negatives, and there's some very serious ones at that. This was towards the end, just kind of doing lightweight. This is like a front raise movement, but you start kind of with your arm behind you, and it really, I love these. I used to do a resistance band kind of deal with this, and that's why I started doing them again on cables, because I felt like that built most of my front delts, I think. I mean, of course, compounds and stuff too, but I also do a both arm variation of this, using that kind of easy bar handle, and I'll kind of stand against the rail and bring the cable up between my legs. It's kind of hard to set up, but it really, and I go heavy with those, so it really hits your front delts. It'll tax them. But this is just some lightweight, slow stuff. And again, I am trying to just maintain at this point, so I'm not doing what I would do to grow muscle. And I probably am still doing too much for maintenance. I don't know, really. And again, no expert. I just kind of, the stuff I've tried so far has worked. And there's parts of my body I need to improve, of course. My legs being the major one. But they're starting to come back. I started hitting, I brought my leg day back. So dedicated leg day has returned. And I'm noticing them starting to come back. So hopefully it won't be too long. I'll be back where I was and can keep improving from there. My back was the focus these past probably 5 or so months, and now we're going to really focus on getting our legs back and get my arms back to where they were from the elbow joint. This is just a variation of a rear delt movement I used to do with, I just come out more, but I used to do it with resistance bands as well. This is back when I was not in a gym and I was working in the garage. But I would like quadruple or there'd be like 4 or 5 bands.
And I would really, now I started out with just the one, but I worked my way up. And then eventually even that, well, no, that would still, right now, if I might not even be able to do that right now if I went out there. And the ones I used to do were more straight back. I come out a little bit more now, and it's just me experimenting, I think. But I've been doing these the past 3 weeks, I want to say. But that's what all this is, man. Just trial and error. And again, my arms look pathetic right there. I'm maybe not to you. I don't know. I think my tricep, dude. It used to. I think my triceps were really impressive before I had to start taking it easy, and it's really kind of bumming me out looking at that. I should have leaned forward and brought my arm back with these. I think that would have been a little better, more of a range of motion. And again, I don't like how my stomach looks in some of these clips. A lot of that really is bloating. I'm trying to look into getting that sorted. But it's got better during the cut. But I do have loose skin at the bottom of my abdomen. But I might, if I have the guts, I might pop up an image showing my abs, but it won't have the loose skin part in it. It's really, I've been told it's really not that bad. It doesn't hang or anything, but there's like wrinkles there, basically. But I feel like there is some body fat that I need to lose, and that's why I decided to go ahead and stay in a deficit, even though now I can afford to eat a little bit more towards maintenance, or above for a little bit, just slightly.
All right. Just got done with shoulders and arms, and I feel pretty good about it. I kind of changed my mindset, like I was talking about, and was like, you're in a deficit, you're just maintaining. And so I cut the sets down because I do a lot of different movements for shoulders, and I can't be, the amount of volume I was doing was just kind of insane. So like I can't be doing like 6 different shoulder movements, all of them being like 5+ sets. That's absolutely beyond what I should be doing. I've cut my training time down quite a bit from where it used to be. I think I've talked about before, I used to train for like several hours, and I used to be one of the team no days off people, right? And I finally, after a few years, realized when I wasn't growing anymore, hey, you need rest days. So I added in one at first, and then I added in a second, and that's where I've kind of sat at. Every now and then I hop back to one, but later on that next week, it catches up to me. So 2 days off, split up kind of where I'm doing like 3 days on, day off. 2 days on, day off. Kind of like that. After 3 days of lifting in a row, my body is shot and it needs that rest day. And then the second one is just so I don't burn out like on the first or second day of that next week. But yeah, I changed my mindset, and I feel a lot better about it. I definitely did enough for maintenance, and I talked about how my blood sugar was low the other day and how horrible that turned out. So today, and what made me think of this was I did it out of nowhere the other day, and I had a really good lift. I don't drink sugary energy drinks. I always get 0 sugar ones. But the one day, every now and then I'll get a craving for like a Red Bull. There's just something about like, I like that crisp flavor of some of those. And they're nowhere near the caffeine content of the ones I would normally drink, but every now and then I'll get one. So I got one, and they're full sugar ones. And I had a really good lift. So I think every now and then I need to consume some sugar, because I drank 2 of them today, and I had a lot of energy. And now I'm starting to get back to feeling shaky, though, after the lift. So me going in with barely anything in me the other day, it makes a lot of sense why it turned out the way it did. Because if I drank 2 full sugar Red Bulls and depleted everything I had to the point that I'm starting to get a little shaky, imagine where my blood sugar was the other day when I went in there with barely anything in my system and hit chest. So yeah, I gotta be better about eating when I first wake up. I'm bad about it. All my life I didn't eat breakfast, and then when I started getting into bodybuilding, I started forcing myself to. But the past month or so, with everything going on, I kind of started slipping on eating. I was almost doing intermittent fasting without trying. And then I'd end up having to eat a bunch to at least get to even my deficit level of calories at the end of the night. I would be that low. So I can't do that, man. That's bad news, as I found out the hard way. But yeah, I had a good lift. I hope every one of you had a good lift or a good rest day, whichever one it was. I hope you guys like this video. I feel a little bit better about this one. I just been off lately. I don't know what it is. I've been kind of mental health wise in a weird spot. But I feel good today. So we're going to get back on track, all right? Catch you guys later. Bye!